superstars, welcome to FearLESS Friday. My name is Natasha and I'm a Grand Prix dressage rider from Australia. Hey FearLESS superstars and welcome to FearLESS Friday. My name is Natasha and I'm a Grand Prix dressage rider from Australia. Today we've got a question. Who's that question from, Phil? Megan. Question from Megan, and she says, how I am too scared to canter without holding on. So she wants to canter like this. Now, I was speaking to my husband, he says, absolutely. So I trained my husband to be a good enough rider so we could go to Africa and ride horses in Africa together. So he doesn't do dressage, he doesn't do anything, but he has a good enough seat and can stay on a horse. We did like 7 hours of galloping every day in Africa. But he literally did 7 hours of galloping in Africa with the reins and the pommel. He would canter and he would have this hand out for balance. And all I can remember about our riding holidays is, because I would always go behind him in case he did fall off, is seeing him and he would just be flying the whole time, cantering around, and it was just really, really cute. And I wanted him to hang on because we're in Africa, and if he fell off, a lion was going to eat you. So that made perfect sense. But if you want to be a dressage rider or a show jumper or some kind of competitive rider, or you're just sick of hanging on and you want to be able to canter without, then it's time for us to do some work. Now, he didn't hang on because he was scared. He actually needed to have more fear than what he had because he didn't have the skills that he thought he had. But I'm wondering, Megan, do you actually have the skills and it's a mental thing? So if you don't have the skills, if you go to canter, and you're falling to the side or you're almost going to fall off and your seat is kind of all moving and your legs are moving and everything's bad, then you need to work on your seat. And the best way is get your horse on a lunge, get someone in the middle and just do hours of someone else guiding the horse, and then you can kind of hang on and then just kind of keep your hand above the pommel, so if you lose your balance you can grab it again. And then eventually hold your hand even higher and then you can still go back to the pommel, and you do that for 3-4 months and your seat will be so much stronger and better for you then to be able to canter without hanging on. But I'm also thinking, Megan, maybe you do have the skills. Maybe you can canter, but this feels safer. Now, I know when I'm braking, when I get on a young horse that has never had a rider on its back, we start off, Phil will lunge me, so I don't control the horse and I ride like this. No freaking joke. Because this horse will probably buck or bolt or do something, and I feel a lot more secure and a lot more able to handle what could go wrong if I'm hanging on. But I'm only allowed to do that for one ride. And if the horse doesn't do anything, my hand comes off and it's time to ride my horse, baby. So Megan, you need to ask yourself the question. If you're using the hanging on because you don't have the skills, that's great. Work on those skills. Set yourself a 90-day goal. In 90 days, in 3 months, my seat will be good enough that I won't need to hang on. If it's mental, if your skills are good enough, but you just you feel too scared, you feel too anxious, you feel that you won't be okay because what if the horse, then you need to work on your mental barriers to overcome that, because what if the horse could buck can happen every time and any time you ride, and there's no point hanging on to the pommel for that chance, for the next 10 years just in case. So if that's you, you need to check out my FearLESS riding program because that helps you with all the mental barriers and helps you basically, I know it seems really silly, but I teach you how to trust yourself. I teach you how to trust that you've got this. Not trust the horse. You can't trust the horse. They're doing their own thing. That's a horse. But to trust you can handle it, to trust you'll be okay, that's where I work with riders, and that's where I give them the confidence, the leadership and the trust so they can let go of the pommel. So trust that helps. You guys have a great week and I'll see you next week. Bye.